This is Peter from NT Realty, and today we're in the hills of Gornja Lastva above Tivat, and I'm interviewing Marie-Louise Guy. Just want to introduce you to the channel. We're all about real estate in Montenegro, specifically about Gornja Bay, Tivat Bay and Luscious Peninsula, but also we're just kind of throwing in some videos about lifestyle. And like I said, I'm going to talk to Marie-Louise Guy. Marie-Louise came from South Africa several years ago, and she's a TV presenter, an author, an amazing mum, all around quite an astonishing person. We're at her house in Gornja Lastva, this amazing property here, quite unique, painted black, pink door. You were telling me there's a story about the black and the pink door. What was all that about?
The black was we wanted the house to disappear, that we were never here, the plants fill it up. And my mother had breast cancer when we got here. And we thought this would be a great ode to her. And yeah,
that's beautiful. Yeah, and it's amazing.
People
I've
love
never
it.
seen this kind of combination.
Got so much criticism in the beginning for the black, but now people seem to love it.
Yeah, Marie-Louise, I'll take you through the property later on, but we have some great idiosyncratic kind of decorations or interior design inside, so it's really cool.
Thank you.
You get involved a lot in Instagram, and back in South Africa, you told me you have some businesses for.
I still have a studio with my brother. It's called Cake Bread. He runs it at the moment, and we have a lovely prop shop, which is just an excuse for me to go shopping often. And then we have a few guest houses, and in the beginning it was a big shock moving away from TV presenting and having a studio and that full busy life. But it's a choice we made, and I'm very happy to be here.
And it's quite interesting. I remember meeting your husband, Chris. Chris is a ship's captain, or
Captain Haddock, we call him.
A Captain Haddock, yeah, okay. And I thought it quite flattering, actually. He said, yes, Peter, you're one of the reasons why we came to Montenegro. I was like, get out of it.
Yes.
No, we saw all your videos. We went, oh, there's somebody normal there.
Yeah,
and it just
fan mail from us. We really love it. And just the way casually you walk through the houses, it just really gave me an idea of what it's like.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah,
well,
love it.
Yeah.
My Peter.
So the idea of these videos actually is just to give you a deeper insight into kind of life in Montenegro. So obviously, Marie-Louise, tell me why Montenegro, what you like about it. You've got your kids in school, tell us a little bit about that. So.
Chris and I got married early and had kids very late. After 15 years, we finally had children. So we were very lucky. It was a long, difficult road for us. And then it was so funny for me because we had this longing for the kids, and at the same time we got these children. Both our careers really exploded, and one day we just said, what are we doing? This was our dream, to be with our children, and we seem to do all these incredible things but be a little nuclear family. And when he said he's going to be in Montenegro more often, as a captain is always around the world, didn't hesitate, and I just said yes. I came literally off a shoot with one bag for each child, and that was it.
Wow.
Relocated.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's good. It sounds a bit like me, but actually not as dramatic. And I just basically had a property in the UK which I sold up, packed the car and drove here. Never been here before, and that's it. And that's back in 2005, and nobody had ever even heard of Montenegro. People went, oh, where is it? Is
you
that
were
Africa?
one of the first, one of the pioneers.
A pioneer, yeah. The Brits, we're kind of good at that, actually. We're good at kind of discovering kind of the new places. Yeah.
I've been here almost 3 years now, and I cannot explain to you how much it has changed in the last 3 years. 3 years ago, it was hard to find someone English speaking, and now, it's a big community. Yeah,
big community, and also, I see, again, on your Instagram, you've got a great kind of social life. There's people from all around the world, so I guess because they're English speaking, so there are lots of kind of Turkish and Russian friends.
You can easily fall into
the
trap here of going out every day for lunch and dinner. It's a huge community with free time.
Sure.
It's a slow lifestyle, and people, enjoy going out.
Yeah. And there's some great places. I mean, obviously you've got the Port of Montenegro with awesome restaurants right there, but you've got lots of lovely little local places. There's a new place that's open in Dumitran, which is all about local food, and it's great for grilled food and so on.
I'm busy with a small documentary at the moment and trying to find more unique places. And the working title is Virgin Woods and Forgotten Foods. And it's been such a joy to learn from other people how to make the traditional food. It's been such a journey.
Documentaries going to be specifically on the local foods and recipes and
local.
Ingredients.
It's food and lifestyle related. And just really, we've been doing weird little things like going foraging, obviously, and picking, what is that chocolate substitute?
Carob.
Carob. We've been picking carobs, and then I picked the wrong ones. We had to feed it to the donkeys, and then finally made the cakes and learned from, really good carob cake makers, and just small things like that, really learning from, the skills, the meister, the part behind it, yeah.
One thing you may not know is that Mary Louise was a judge on the Great South African Bake Off, is that right?
It's similar, it's an Afrikaans version, it's called Kokkedoor.
Kokkedoor.
It was so popular, and I love all my Kokkedoor friends still around the world. It's been like a big family, and for years,
great.
It's been baking competition and interesting bakes, from traditional to new finds.
And you obviously rose to that kind of level to be a judge on there because you did some quite spectacular kind of cakes while you were in South Africa.
Yeah, I was lucky that we did a lot of wedding cakes, and I was in North Carolina when we found out more about American cakes. At that stage, we still had fruit cakes in South Africa.
Right.
And then went on a course to learn that. And when we got to South Africa, it was this explosion of people wanting those elaborate cakes. So we loved it. We did some spectacular cakes, and then lucky enough to get a book deals from that. And then I think 9 books later, we were still going, and it's just a lovely, lovely organic growth.
I always love coming up to see Mary Louise because every time I come here, she goes like, "Oh, I've got some food. It's only leftovers." I go like, "Oh my God, are you kidding? This person serves up leftovers like nobody." Like a nice 5-star restaurant would be proud of any of those things. And I go, "Oh, great, some figs and some steak and some this and some that and this." "Oh, I just have some cake here as well." "Oh, okay, don't worry.
I love
Take this home with you." Okay.
Make my day. That's my dream for this little house, is to one day have small events here for Instagrammers that they can see different foods, and we do something spectacular that looks visually different every time.
Great.
Can I do the same thing over and over again?
And this is just your weekend house. You actually live down in Tivat, don't you?
Chris calls it our escape from our children, who we love dearly.
Really? Do they know about this place?
They don't like it. There's no Wi-Fi, so it's fantastic.
Great. Okay.
We love it. It's a great escape.
Yeah. So talking of the kids, tell me more about your experience with the schools as a young dad. Well, my child is young. I'm not so young. As a young dad, it's something I'm quite interesting on. And probably a lot of people thinking of coming to Montenegro are also thinking about what are the schools like. You have the experience with the private schools here.
I love both private schools. It was a tremendous shock for me coming here, the cost. Because I come from South Africa, where you have options of good government schools.
Right.
It was a huge jump in comparison to any other thing. The lifestyle here is pretty low-key financially, and that was a huge shocker, but really good schools.
Yeah.
And now that I've been in it for a while, you realize why the teachers have to be accommodated here. Yeah. Everybody comes here for a reason. It's very expensive to set up the school, so I have a greater understanding. Both schools serve fantastic lunches and breakfasts, super balanced meals.
Great.
So you have KSI.
Okay, that's the Knightsbridge School International.
But is affiliated with Porto. So the advantage for me there is if your child is into water sports, it's a really great school because the yachting community, swimming, all of that is affiliated, and really top quality
equipments throughout.
Just everything. The pool, I mean, every kid's dream is to swim in the Porto pool. It's just...
Is that the Lido pool that they have?
It's the Lido pool. It's a postcard, beautiful.
64-meter infinity pool. It probably has the most dramatic pool in the world.
It's the most dramatic, and it's visually spectacular. Like I have to pinch myself that my little kids are swimming here, and I find it truly international. It's a bigger mix of international communities for me. That's what I find at KSI.
Sure.
And then I love Arcadia for the sense my one child is there. I love the sense of community. You really do feel you're part of a family, because Galina, the owner, is she's there every day.
She's like mother hen.
She's mother. I can phone her up and say, "Oh, I forgot to pack Fia's jumper."
Yeah.
And she's on it, and she's really good at changing. I think for COVID, she was really fast and reactive.
Yes.
We went online the next day, and it was a full school day, and I just feel the love for the children is amazing.
Great.
And then you have the Montenegrin school as well, and I always encourage, if your children are small enough, to start them there so they become fully integrated.
Yeah. That's what we're doing with Daniel. He's only 15 months old.
Yeah.
And actually before COVID, he'd already started nursery school and he loved it and they were fine. So we like the idea of him just integrating. He's quite a outgoing kind of personality anyway.
So cute. He's so beautiful. And, you and I are both late starters, so we're living for them. You know?
So again, this is a private nursery, not so expensive. I think we pay something like 140 euros per month. That's for 5 days a week, and that includes the meal, breakfast and lunch, or just lunch or something. And they're just taken care of. And it's very, very flexible because we just take him there. He said, look, don't worry, you can bring him at 8 o'clock or you can bring him at 10 o'clock, whatever suits you. So just bring him at that time and then just take him whenever you like. So for working parents, it's super flexible and it really helps them out, you know, and then they have their little sleep there as well. And they've got... even though they have different age groups, those different age groups are on different levels with different teachers. So they have a nurse, you know, it's super, super professional.
I think Montenegro is so child friendly. Your children are safe here. I will often hear your son Max was in Porto 10 minutes ago.
Really? Yeah.
I know what they're up to. It's a community that love their children.
I think it's one of the things in Montenegro is that people have really expressed a lot, and it's how safe you feel here and how safe the kids are here. And it almost goes back to those days of the 50s or the 60s. I quite often liken it to the famous five, when the kids used to just go off by themselves and just go, you know, like looking in rock pools or, you know, go swimming and spend the day by themselves. Meanwhile, mum and dad might be in in Rosse in a nice cafe there, drinking some Chardonnay or having a coffee or something like that. I'm not worried about the kids.
You can have a great cocktail, watch your children play on the beach, and they're super safe, and you're super relaxed.
Exactly.
It feels a bit like time travel when you're here in the beginning, and then you realize it's exactly the way it should be. This is what life should be like.
Yes. Yeah.
Not these additional fake stresses.
I know, it's funny. I've been doing quite a few interviews now with digital nomads, and it's interesting the number that are actually coming saying like, well, I used to be a nomad, but maybe I'm going to stay here.
Stay here.
And it's interesting the people who have traveled a lot, and you've traveled, I've traveled a lot, and the people I just interviewed have traveled to over 160 countries, which is phenomenal to me.
I know. I looked at that video. I loved that video. Yes.
And they go like, yeah, I used to like traveling, but I think I'll just stay here. But I'll carry on with my job. But I'll just stay here because you feel safe and comfortable. It's got great kind of broadband. It's relaxing. It's quite sociable, as you've already said. It's inexpensive for Europe. There are less expensive places in the world to live. You've got, Southeast Asia, which is a lot cheaper than Europe. But you're here in Europe. You're probably a 3-hour flight from 1 billion people. So from Dubai, you've got direct flights, St. Petersburg, London, Barcelona, everything. You've got the low-cost airlines here. You've got Wizz Air, EasyJet, Ryanair, and so on. And it just, this kind of connectivity just seems to be expanding and expanding. And people seem to like it because they see it's a place not just for now, which is safe, but also maybe for the future as well, with the integration of for the European Union and so on. So
I just love their value system, how they value their daily ritual. I spoke to a friend of mine, and he said they don't go to so many concerts because they value their daily the ritual, and they do. I have a wildly successful friend. Every morning she goes to Porto, relaxes, have a coffee, look over the sea, instead of this mad rush going into the day. Their days seem to be a little longer, but they start the day in harmony with themselves.
Sure. I guess the day is longer anyway, because you wake up and it's now pretty much, we're in October. It's a beautiful sunny day. It's about 25 degrees. And you get up maybe 6:30, 7 o'clock. You can go out for a walk. You can go for a coffee. We'd like to go for a coffee and a detox in a local cafe with Daniel and our dog Gasha. And that's it. So there's a lot more to do. I mean, the difference is maybe, for example, in other countries you won't have the siestas, whereas here you'll have the siestas. So we try and plan ours while Daniel's having his little naps and things.
I have a friend that just came from the Dubai, and her children have never seen a rainbow before. They're 6 and 8. Because they've never seen seasonal changes. And here you see the seasons change. I mean, that's one of the things I love about Montenegro. Every season you can forage new fruit and medicine. And, I went hiking with my kids the other day. We took sandwiches, and on the way, we met a man who was making juju, I think, what do you call that juice? Juju? will come to me. We made fresh juice with him.
Right.
Then we picked figs along the way, peppers, tomato, paradise they call it, and you know, all the way. And by the time we got up there, we were full on picnic.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah, we're up in Vermats the other day, and it's I saw some Russians.
That little red, sorry.
Yeah. And I just noticed some Russian family up there, and I thought, I know what they're doing here. They're coming. They're looking for the wild mushrooms for the seps. And I forgot Gornja.
I love the Russian community. Do know how to find that, and the wild asparagus.
Yes,
I will trip over one before I recognize it.
Yeah. Which is quite interesting because it kind of grows like grass. It's like asparagus, but it's a little bit more bitter. So people put it with scrambled eggs and things like that.
Yes, I've seen it. And pasta, it might look like a nest. It's quite interesting.
Yeah. And food-wise, so what do you like about the place? I mean, how is the shopping and things for you here?
I'm so embarrassed, but the first year I was here, I was just angry about what I could not find. Where's the mango? Where's my avocado? Why do I have to pay €5 for avocado? And then I open it and
I want some coconut milk.
Where's my coconut milk? Where's where's my just takeaway foods? Where's all of that? And then I realized one day the food here is of such high quality because it's seasonal. It's grown in someone's yard. It's the meat. I mean, I'm not a big meat eater, but barbecues, the rosti is great quality meat. And so I'm embarrassed that I was like that. And now I love the freshness of the produce. The watermelon here, I think I eat my ways.
Oh, the watermelon, it's quite interesting. My wife loves it, and it's when it's in season, you're paying 20 to 30 cents a kilo.
It's unbelievable.
Incredible. I mean, these things are huge. You're still maybe paying €4 or €5, but very inexpensive and absolutely beautiful.
And the amount of different peppers you get, the quality, That just, I made ivar yesterday for the first time on my own.
Ivar's explain the ingredients there.
It's basically peppers you roast for a long time. It's a condiment.
Yeah.
Like we would eat chutney with something. They eat ivar with many things.
Yeah.
So you just cook it down, and then I had it drip dry, and then you have to put it through a little grinder, and oil and garlic and a little bit of chili flakes. So it's really delicious and bright red. It's really delicious.
Yeah. And it lasts forever as well. You put it in a jar and then that's
off
it.
You go. And the gifts you get. I mean, where in the world do you get homemade alcohol? And a lot of it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
it might go pop in the night sometimes, but I love it that my neighbors bring me homemade olives.
Yeah.
And what is it? I've got walnut trees, so we're harvesting that at the moment. And you put it in rakia.
That's one of my favorite drinks, actually. You have the rakia, which is the French would call it an eau de vie, so it's a white spirit. And then they actually flavor it as well with different fruits. So you have dunya, which is quince.
Okay.
And the walnut ones, it makes the liquor go black.
It's a big sherry.
But the flavor is great. It almost has this kind of coffee kind of richness to it.
I love it. And just small things like, and also I find just how close people live to nature here. My child had a fever recently, and we were of course worried about COVID and had tests done. And then my friend came around, rakia under the feet, rakia wash a little face, and she was healthy and no tooth ticks, and everything's a tea that can.
Was she healthy or just drunk? Or,
at the fumes.
She's like, I feel great now, Mom. That's it. I'm off to bed. Yeah, so that's
but
it.
no, other medicine works. So that was just such a cure quickly, and great. I just really love the pride of the community, and just I really feel like after almost 3 years, I'm only starting to know it now. I found the right guides to take me.
Great. You're getting in depth in it, like doing the documentaries and so on. And what about the kids? Are the kids settled here? Are they enjoying it? Like you said, they're obviously very active with
Cape Town is a very hard place to leave. I find it is a fantastic city, and they were there with big extended families, lots of friends. So that was in the beginning, it was very lonely. Happy thing was that we were living in a bubble, a family bubble. Never ever will we get that opportunity again that our teenager actually wants to spend time with us. They love the skiing. They love that they sail so often.
Yeah.
They got
Skiing up in Kalashin or
Kalashin
Jablak,
and
yeah.
water sports. So they
Uh-huh.
out. And then my oldest one, he's a teenager, and I really feel comfortable that he's out with his mates until 11 at night.
Yeah, yeah.
I know they're safe, and
Yeah.
Montenegrin mums are really strict with their daughters, so I'm also
Yeah.
very happy about that. So they go home quite early.
So most people would be locking up their daughters. You prefer to lock up your son, yeah? So he's
So,
a very handsome young man anyway.
They are very happy. I'm for part of so many groups of women, and just really right around the world. Every day you can learn from a Lebanese friend, a Russian friend. I feel my world has become very big. I don't want to leave, and there are signs that we might have to leave at some stage, and I really would like to make this my home now.
Would you, if you had to leave, would you keep this place, for example,
We will keep
or
it
have
forever.
a base or something? Yeah,
No,
so it's something that you really.
This was a love project. People say, when are you finishing? It's like, it's the process that we love. We just want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And we have so much farm life happening here. We call it our mini farm. It's got things happening here, and just such a happy place when you come here to entertain.
You've got a cute little mountain house. It's very eclectic in the interior design, but I can see you've got some gardens here. We're sitting under the shade of this grapevine. Yeah,
and I collect old linen, so I've been really fortunate to find amazing pieces here, because people don't value it.
Yeah.
So for me, I can buy crates of linen.
Great.
And it goes to my prop shop. I'm loving working on that.
On the Instagram page. You should follow Mary Louise on her Instagram page. I'll put a link below so you can look at that. So that's about it. I just wanted to introduce you to Mary Louise. Yeah, it's another kind of taste of what it's like living in Montenegro from a different perspective. I want to thank you once again.
Thank
Bring
you,
me to your
Peter.
lovely
Should we
home.
really tell people how awesome it is here?
Yeah, we should. I mean, that's hopefully that comes across in our smiles or something. I'm not sure. So anyway, so if you like the video, please like it, and please subscribe if you want to watch the latest videos from NT Realty. And there's a couple of videos on the screen right now which I think you'll like. There's an interview and maybe a link to one of our playlists. So that's it. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, did I speak too much? I'm sorry.
You did, and that's the camera's still rolling.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.